This show is produced by the Hartman Media Company. For more information and links to all our great podcasts, visit hartmanmedia.com.
Welcome to the Young Wealth Show, where you'll truly learn how to make, spend, and invest money for an awesome life. Get the real-life stuff that wasn't part of your school curriculum. Young Wealth gives you innovative new ways of dealing with your finances, as well as the skills and tools you're going to need to survive and be successful out on your own. Let the Young Wealth Show be your GPS to take you from clueless to clued in. Here's your host, Jason Hartman, with Young Wealth.
It's my pleasure to welcome Andres Pira to the show. He is CEO of Blue Horizon Developments and Managing Director of Phuket Condos and Homes. He's the author of a new book entitled Homeless to Billionaire, 18 Wealth Attraction Principles for Creating Unlimited Opportunity. Andres, welcome. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me here today.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you. Are you coming to us from Phuket now?
I just came from Dubai yesterday. I've been there receiving a couple of awards, but and before that we came from Thailand, but we've been traveling around a lot the last 3 months.
Fantastic. Tell us how you got your start. I mean, as the title would suggest, really, that's an amazing story. You were homeless and now you're a billionaire?
Yeah, it's an autobiography of my trial and error and successes over the last 16 years in Asia and Thailand.
Fantastic. So give us kind of the genesis of your career. I know you were in the brokerage business, and then you did some investing in properties, and then development is basically the progression, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I started in real estate. I with my first job that I ever landed in Thailand, and I got employed as a marketing executive for a real estate agency, and that was more or less giving out brochure outside their office and trying to get people inside the door and working myself up. I wanted to become a sales agent. I got the chance one day to show a client around, and he actually bought on the first presentation, so I got promoted to sales agent, and I did very well the first year there, and they awarded me as the best sales agent for the year, which led me to become a sales manager for that organization and then sales director for the company. And after that, I wanted to do something alone, and I started my first real estate agency. And that led to acquiring a lot of investors and buyers who were happy with my advice and giving them great returns on their properties. And with that, I gained a lot of trust with them. So they asked me if I would be interested to start developing different projects. And of course I was. So I became the real estate developer after that.
Okay, so give us some ideas to like what year and what geography, where was that located when you did all that?
Everything that started in Thailand, in Phuket. Phuket Island is Thailand's richest province, and it's in south of Thailand, so that's where I'm based with, and that's where I do most of my resorts and hotels and commercial buildings.
Okay, great. And what time frame are you talking about, just so we have kind of some context around it?
Well, my first job was 16 years ago in real estate, and I would say it took me 4 years from that, so that would be 12 years ago that I started my first real estate agency, and I was buying and flipping different units, and I started my first developments 10 years ago.
Wow, that is an incredible story. Congratulations, that's phenomenal. So what would you say are some of your secrets to success, if you will?
Well, in real estate is patience, persistence, perseverance, and never giving up, and always study your competitors very, very closely, because they're always doing something great, and take a little bit of that and do it better. So it's a lot of competitive markets. So you need to be able to really intensively research all the competitors you have around and buy in the right moment and sell at the right moment. Also, it's a balance with all these things.
Mm-hmm. When you say in real estate, just wanted you to kind of define that for us. Do you mean brokerage? Do you mean investing? Do you mean development, or all of them?
Well, there is different parts of it, I guess. Many of the properties that I buy, I do it to let them out, to lease them. Others, I buy empty land plots to do developments on, and involve my architects and engineers to do great projects to sell unit by unit or a whole project itself. And sometimes we have commercial buildings that I buy or renovate or restore. So it's many different aspects in real estate that we can go into that we're currently doing.
Yeah. So in your book, you highlight several important principles. Lead a laser-focused life, take risks, responsibility, and action. Do you care to pick a couple of your favorites and go over them with us?
Absolutely. And I would say lead a laser-focused life. It's you can use it in all walks of life, or whatever company or whatever you want to achieve or desire or be or do or have. And what I notice is most people never really achieve anything because they're not really specific on what they want to achieve or what they want to do or what they want to see in life. So lead a laser-focused life means that be very specific on where you're going and what makes you happy and what the things that you want to acquire or what kind of success you want or achievement and how that's going to look like. And where am I in 5 years? Where am I in 10 years? What are the kind of experience I want to have? So for me, it's and I see that with many successful people, we all have very specific goals and targets to reach. And that's one of the first fundamental keys to moving forward in life.
Okay, so focus. I mean, everybody listening would agree that that's important. Not everybody does it, of course, but very important to understand that. Pick a couple of others. I mean, you've got quite a few things here. What do you have? 18 of them, right?
Yeah, there's 18 principles. Some are easier to adapt and some take longer time. And it's 18 principles that I've been learning through trial and error for the last 16 years. Some of them are taken from great role models, leaders, and successful people, and some of them I learned by myself, leading all my organizations that I have and the employees I have. So, and also taking risks. I mean, every great success or milestone or achievement is when you take risks in life. We have to do that, but we have to take them in a calculated way and also put everything in line. What's the worst thing that can happen? What's the best thing that can happen? And if the worst thing happens, can I handle it? And how do I bounce back from it? And also make sure, but you have to take big risks in life. That's how it is. But calculate what can happen if it doesn't go your way. And I mean, the greatest successes we have with projects is when we have taken risks that we have built, and they turn out to be great. So
yeah, no question. You know what I find particularly interesting is this idea of that you talk about in principle number 5. The celebration creates an addiction to progress. Tell us about that.
Well, I would say our team and our departments, every time we have a success or a milestone or a record that we have broken, we celebrate extensively. And sometimes, I've taken my departments and companies we just came back from Kilimanjaro. We summit that mountain in Tanzania. We've been in Japan doing skiing together. We've been in Indonesia, climbed an active volcano. This is the kind of targets and goals I put on my teams, is that when we reach this thing, let's celebrate together, let's do something together, let's be different from other companies. But also that goes in hand with your competitors. And I also tell the employees and people around you that when a competitor reaches something great and they've done something successful, we should be happy about it instead of complaining, because most companies, they get jealous, hatred, envy, and that's just going to affect yourself. It's be happy for other people's success and celebrate it extensively with the people around you, because the more you celebrate, it becomes more an addiction, and the more you want to experience it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I was kind of, when I asked you that question, I was kind of relating to the idea of, there's sort of two major philosophies in life. Save all your money, go out and earn as much as you can, and save as much as you can, right? But then there's the other philosophy of work hard, play hard, if you will, right? Earn some money, but, spend it because tomorrow's not guaranteed, right? You might as well live it up. And I think the optimum answer is a balance to some extent. Do you think it's important for people to sort of reward themselves for their progress along the way? Or is it good to be just really frugal?
Well, honestly, I really believe that you should reward yourself as much as possible every time, because you're the product of success. So and you need to be recognized when you do something great. You need to tell yourself that you've done something great and you achieved this milestone, or you have broken this record, and you see yourself moving forward. You see yourself developing yourself, and when you reward yourself, you feel great about it. And some people, that they do it opposite. They reward themselves, but they instantly feel bad about it because they think that they don't have the right to do it, or they should do it for a later stage. But that just creates this stress in that individual. So I guess it's very important, especially to reward yourself and others. You're the most important person in your life, so of course you should reward yourself and pat yourself on the shoulder when you do something great, and that makes you feel good.
Mm-hmm. What is vibrational giving?
Vibrational giving is something, it all started in Thailand, because if I take you back many years back, and in Thailand, they have another belief. It's, for instance, when we have our birthdays in our modern or Western world, we expect to receive gifts from everyone when we have a birthday, right? And in Thailand, it's different. It's opposite. When you have your birthdays, then you should give gifts to others, and especially to other people that are less privileged than you. And I just love this idea. And I noticed that every time I started to practice it, things around me started to go better. My company is starting to increase. I get unexpected incomes. There's phone calls or emails from clients that I forgot about. They wanted to buy something more and invest more. So vibrational giving is to give out whatever you want to give first. And if you give success or happiness or money to other people and you feel good about it, then that will be returned tenfold to you every single time, because it's an energy, it's an emotion we give out to the universe, as I call it, and that the universe will see it and give you more of that. I've been trying to disprove this matter year after year, but I'm always getting the same results. So I'm gone from wishing to hoping to just knowing that it works. So it's very important to give whatever you want first in life. So, and I practiced it every single day.
Okay, good. Well, what else do you want people to know? Maybe something I haven't asked you.
Yeah, I do a lot of different things. I wrote a book now, and I'm a real estate investor, real estate developer. I have several businesses. I have health centers and gyms and coffee shops and restaurants around. So it's a lot of different things. And I'm doing this to help others to actually propel in their business and making them more successful. So that's the whole idea behind the book. So people are free to ask me anything within that, and hopefully I can help.
Talk to us a little bit about the more maybe technical side of real estate investing, if you will. Some of the reasons you were attracted to it, some of the, tricks of the trade, or the things that make it so great. I mean, I love income property. I think it's the most historically proven asset class in the entire world, and it's accessible to so many people at different levels. You can be very wealthy and do it, or you can just have a very modest means, buy one house and rent it out, and then, get another a few years later. That's what I saw my mother doing growing up, and it ended up very well for her, and it's been very good to me too. What thoughts do you have on that?
The real estate just has a broad aspect, but I believe that with real estate in general, that it's, passive incomes, multiple streams of income, and buying at the right moment from the right people and be able to negotiate great deals. That's something that I'm very passionate about, and I love looking for next deal or next opportunity or next project or next unit to flip or buy or renovate. So there's many different aspects to it as well. And what I notice, especially in Asia now, it's booming with the Russians and the Chinese market, because what we're doing now for the moment is we're only selling investment properties, and almost 90% of everything that we're building, people are not buying it to live or to have holidays in, because we guarantee certain returns every year, and we have great management companies and big hotel groups that are managing our properties. So we can offer this high return from 7% up to 10% return per year for our clients, and that's a guarantee. So, people are buying properties from us online at the moment because of payment options and also the returns that we offer. So it might be a bit different from America market, but I can just tell you about how it's working in Asia and Thailand at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Were you from Thailand originally, or where are you from?
No, I'm not. I'm half Colombian and half Swedish, but I was born in South America, Colombia, but I left when I was 3 years old. My parents took me there, and I was raised in Sweden until I was 20 years old, and then I moved to Thailand, and now I've been living in Thailand 16 years.
Now, did you move to Thailand because you just liked it there, or did you see that as a particularly good real estate opportunity?
When I moved to Thailand, I didn't know what I was going to do or what job I'm going to have, and I came to Thailand with $100 in my pocket, to be honest. Very young at that age, but I didn't like Sweden in general. It's a cold country, and the weather is bad. It's dark, and it's snowing, and it's cold. So I wanted to live in a tropical paradise. So it was more of a coincidence that I ended up in Thailand, since I asked the travel agent, where can I get with this money? And I had $2,000 to my name, and she recommended me to fly to Thailand, because that looked good in the catalogs with white sandy beaches and blue oceans and palm trees. I ended up there more of a coincidence from the start, to be honest. Yeah.
Came there as a beach bum and ended up as a big real estate mogul. So that's fantastic. Great story.
Yeah, that's correct. So yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. So anything back on that technical side of real estate, like the way you structure a deal, the way, just anything else you want to share with our listeners about that, the economics of a deal, or, how you find deals and source things, or whatever. There's so many aspects to it, obviously.
When you're working with buyers and sellers, and I heard this story a lot, that you just have to focus on winning the deal, but I noticed that in my perspective, it's not like that. If you're buying from someone or you have a client that you want to make money for it, it's a win-win every time. And that's how you create a word of mouth advertising for yourself, and you get recommendations from other developers, sellers, and clients. And it's to always be straight with your word and always follow up on things that you promise to do. And also make sure that if you have clients that you're working for, make sure that they make great returns and they invest in the right things, because that creates just a pipeline of more buyers. So that's what we've been doing over the years, and it's very important to deliver that, because you can lose your reputation in one day, but we're still working on it after 16 years. So it's important with that thing. And how to structure a deal, I mean, it all depends on the opportunity you have. So while we notice where great money is to lease the units out and also to flip and renovate units. And I think it's the same kind of concept here in America as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's been great talking with you. Is there just anything else you want to share with the listeners before you wrap it up? And of course, give us a website or something?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we go much more in detail on our website, and also in my book that I've been writing for over the last 12 months. And it's andrespira.com, ANDRESPIRA.com. And they can download a short version of the 18 principles or a free chapter of the book. And if they like it, please go ahead on Amazon and purchase the actual copy, and it will be sent to you. And it goes out in all the bookstores in America. I talk a lot about real estate and investments and cash flows, and also how to keep a positive mindset. So hopefully that can help other people to succeed.
Now that you mentioned positive mindset, I've got one more question for you we didn't touch on, and that is the power of visualization. Just wanted to ask you to speak to that for a moment, because I think it is a very powerful thing.
Any success, any awards, any right direction of success or whatever, it all starts in the mind, and we always have to visualize the outcomes of what we want to be, do, or have. Visualizations have taken me to the person I am today. Look at an Olympic gold medalist. He can see the whole race in his head before he does it. He can see himself winning. He can see himself having that gold medal. It's the same with anything in life or any success. We need to picture it very clear and take time for ourselves and spend time for ourselves, see it in our mind, visualize it, and be clear that this is the outcome. This is what I'm going after, because our mind is a very, very powerful tool. And whatever happens in the mind, you can then after hold it in your reality or your outside world, as people call it.
Yeah, very good. Any particular tools you use to visualize? Do you watch some videos? Do you just do it in your mind? Do you, meditate? Do you use a vision board? I mean, you've heard of all these techniques. Maybe you use some. I just thought I'd ask for some more detail on it.
Funny you mention it, and I use all of them. And I mean, I have a goal list that I look at all the time that I write every year. And before I visualize, I do meditation and visualizations in my gardens, in my home. But before I do that, I check my goal list and see what items or what things do I want to visualize today. And that's how I use my goal list, which I've written down. And then I go out in my garden and I calm my mind and visualize the things that I want to achieve, be, do, or have. And then I go out and take action and start to find people that have those things, or a certain thing that I need to read, or some information that's out there. So action is very important in any achievement. And you can't just sit and visualize things on a location and expect it to come to you. Action after that is very crucial to any manifestation.
Very good. Well, good stuff. Andres, thank you for joining us, and congratulations on your success. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Jason, and it was great having you, and thank you for having me as well, and have a great day.
Thank you so much for listening. Please be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any episodes. Be sure to check out the show's specific website and our general website, hartmanmedia.com, for appropriate disclaimers and terms of service. Remember that guest opinions are their own, and if you require specific legal or tax advice or advice in any other specialized area, please consult an appropriate professional. And we also very much appreciate you reviewing the show. Please go to iTunes or Stitcher Radio or whatever platform you're using and write a review for the show. We would very much appreciate that. And be sure to make it official and subscribe so you do not miss any episodes. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode.